everyone, Amber here. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made some super cute mason jar Happy Mail. So I'm just using this plastic mason jar that I picked up at Michael's. It comes in a pack of 3 for $5. So I love using plastic mason jars just because they are very lightweight and it makes shipping cost a lot less if you are sending this to a pal. So I'm using the Lovely Day collection by Dear Lizzie. And I am just trying to find a piece of paper to use as, I was gonna say cover, but it's, this isn't a flip book or anything. But just to put in the inner circle on the lid there, just to give it a bit more flair. You can't really decorate these too much. There's not a whole bunch of space to work with like there would be with another kind of Happy Meal craft. But what I love about these is that once all the goodies are in and you can see through it because it's a clear jar, it just looks so decorated and so fun on its own. So I'm just using this pretty floral paper and I'm just showing you here, that is the inner circle that I'm going to put a little piece of paper on to decorate it. So I don't have a die set. If you have a die set of circles, it'd probably be way easier to just measure it and cut one out, but I don't have one. So I'm just using this jar of sequins from Michael's and it fits perfectly like I showed you there, just in that inner circle of the lid. So I'm just going to trace that and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So I took my time cutting out, because sometimes when you try to cut circles fast, they come out a bit wonky and have like edges to them, and it's a circle, so it's not supposed to really have edges or corners or anything like that. So I just sped this part up and I am just taking my time to cut it out to get a nice clean circle shape. And then to attach that to the lid, you can totally use hot glue or any adhesive that you like, but I'm just using some double-sided tape from Joann's. Alright, and when you go to put your little piece of paper down, try to measure it up as nicely as you can before you adhere it. The first time I made one of these, I had to rip it off a few times before I finally got it measured up just right. So just take your time doing that. And then just make sure it's nice and sealed down. And now you have a super cute lid that you can decorate more, which I will, for your little mason jar project. So next I'm going to add some twine right under the lip of the lid, I guess you could say. I think that this just makes it look a lot more cute. And like I said, you can't decorate it so much, so this adds just a bit of extra flair to it. So I just added 3 tags to this gold and white twine. And I am wrapping the twine around twice just so it shows up a bit more. And now I'm just going to tie it in a bow and leave a bit of the extra string hanging off, once again just for some added decoration. And then I'm going to take some of this blue cord that is also from Michael's, and I am going to add a yellow tassel from the Target Dollar Spot to it. And I chose yellow just because there's some yellow on the paper on the lid there, and I just like that it kind of made that those yellow flowers pop. So I am just going to tie that on, and you might be able to tell here I was having a bit of trouble doing that. There's not too much space under this, so sometimes the string wants to kind of slide around or do its own thing and you got to work with it a little bit, but I think it's totally worth it in the end. And once you have everything tied on, you can move the tags and the tassel around to get it just to where you want. And the last thing I'm going to wrap around here is some wire trim with little stars on it. My pen pal Becky actually sent me this in a mini embellishment box for my birthday, and I love it. It was just a little sample, and I used some on my last mason jar mail, that I posted on my Instagram, and now I'm using the rest here, and I just love it. You can just twist it so it kind of ties itself into place, and I just think with all the little stars sticking out, it looks so dreamy and magical and just super cute all around. So I worked with that a bit to mold it to how I wanted it to look, and then just cut off a little bit that was just too much, a little bit extra hanging down. And that is all I'm going to do there. And now to decorate the lid itself. This is optional, you totally don't have to do it. I just like that it looks, you know, a bit more decorated, has a bit more flair to it. So I'm just hot gluing this little wood veneer that says hello down, and that is from Joann's. I got it during an online sale. I got a whole bunch of packs of wood veneers because I can't really ever find too many in actual stores, so definitely just stocked up on those. And then once again, to bring out those little pops of yellow, I hot glued a yellow flower down, and I'm just adding some little gems. And I actually go back at the end of the video to add a little bit more to the lid, just to finish it off. I didn't feel like it was completed, so I wanted to add a bit more to it. And now I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to add crinkle paper inside. So you can add whatever you want inside as like the decoration part, and also it's kind of like a little cushion for the goodies. So I'm just adding some crinkle paper. I'm adding this pretty mint color because there's some light blues on the lid there, and that'll help that all pop and come together. And then I'm going to add some little pieces of white. I don't have any white crinkle paper, but I have black and white. So I painstakingly sat here and picked little white pieces out one by one to add in there. And then I also added a few little gold star sequins, which I think got lost in there, but maybe they'll fall out when the recipient takes all the goodies out. And so now I'm making the goodie bags to go inside. So I just cut down pieces of paper to about 2 by 3. Now the trouble with the mason jar mail is that there's a circumference that you can't like surpass with certain goodies. So they all have to be a bit on the smaller side so that you can kind of squeeze them in there. So you'll have to like mess around and with your own size of mason jar and just see what goodies fit and what you can actually fit in there. So I kind of kept all my little goodie bags smaller so that they would just slide right in. And in that little one, I put some paper clips, a whole variety. And in this one, I'm going to put some wood veneer hearts that are from the Target Dollar Spot. And on top of all of my little goodie bags, I like to add a little clip so that they're easier to pull out of the mason jar. You can just grab them by the clip and pull them right out. And in the next goodie bag, I'm going to add some wood veneer pieces, the ones I picked up from Joann's. So I'm just looking through all my little box collections of them and just kind of deciding what the recipient for this might like. She's big into scrapbooking, and so I wanted to include some pieces that I thought she might be able to use. So I'm just arranging those in this goodie bag, and I messed around with the arrangement a bit because I didn't want any to snap. Wood veneers aren't always super sturdy, and I didn't want any to break on the way to her. And now into the mason jar, I am also adding a roll of washi tape from Michaels, a little sample of that golden white twine I used, and a little teeny jar of sequins, which you saw me make earlier. And to fancy that little goodie bag up some, I added some of that sequin trim to it. And now we are back to adding some more to the lid. So I decided to go ahead with a phrase sticker. I didn't like all that empty space below the hello, so I decided to put a little phrase sticker here. And I am just going to prop that up on some foam tape. The foam tape I use is from the Dollar Tree. It works pretty well, super cheap, and you get a good amount of it as well. Alright you guys, and that finishes up the project. So I think that this is a super cute way to send some happy mail to your pal. And I wanted to take this time to thank everyone who voted. This was my second video in my new YouTube series called You Picked It. And I put up on my Instagram stories if my followers wanted to see a mason jar happy mail or a tag clip, and the mason jar mail won. So that's why I am creating this for you guys today. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you do decide to make this, I would love to see, so please feel free to tag me at Bambi's Mail on Instagram. And yeah, take care guys, and happy crafting. Bye!